I would take this bottle cap and I would flick it at my baby Yoda, my Grogu, and that would confirm the bet. So if Dan and I would say we have the Titans plus 5.5 against the Chiefs, then we would reverse jinx it in the Instagram DMs. Then I would take a bottle cap out and flick it at baby Yoda's head.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Walkthrough Podcast presented by BAM, your go-to marketing and branding podcast. My name is Dan O'Neill, a.k.a. El Capitan, the real Capitan of BAM. And joining me today, as always, is a star-studded panel featuring Eric the Broke Agent Simon, who finally does not have a black eye after what seems like 3 months, Dan McKinnon, and Miss Marie Lee from Tennessee. Today, we are talking Valentine's Day content, Super Bowl content, what's in, what's out in our marketing, social tips, including Facebook, Marketers of the Week, BAM Pro Bowl recap, and much, much more. But before we do, make sure to go smash the like and subscribe button and wish me a happy birthday and send me a pack of Halls because I lost my voice. Are you guys ready?
Yes. Happy
Let's
birthday,
go.
Dan.
No, I don't want it from you. Thank you. Make sure to like and subscribe. We appreciate everyone's positive reinforcements about the new show. All right. First up is Super Bowl and Valentine's Day content. I'm going to pass it to Mr. Eric the Broke Agent Simon, who has a mic today and who does not have a raspy voice.
Correct. Mike, non-raspy voice, no black eye, got a hat on. Everything is looking fantastic from the aesthetic wise of this setup. I'm pumped because this is a big week for content, Marie. Big week, McKinnon, Dan, because we got the Super Bowl coming up on Sunday. We got Valentine's Day next week, I believe next Wednesday. So book your reservations now. Get your flowers ready. Dan, for your significant others, Marie, make sure you got the reservations and everything. I got a few Valentine's Day content ideas. I'm going to piggyback off of last week. How about this? You still haven't booked a reservation for Valentine's Day? How about that for a hook? And then you go into a couple restaurants. How genius is that? Throw that into coffee and contracts. And then how about this? The worst places to take a Valentine's Day date in your hometown. The worst places to take your date. The little negative hook at the beginning there. How about this? The 5 most romantic restaurants in your hometown, the 5 most romantic spots, 5 ways to make your home more romantic, the most unromantic spots. Again, saying it because it's so good. Things to do on Valentine's Day if you're single, a post about what you love about your hometown, and then a post about what you love about real estate. There's some Valentine's Day ideas for you. Dan McKinnon, what about you? Do you have anything planned for content around the Day of Love? Ooh,
always talking about the things that I love, which is the beach life, and tourism is hot here, so that's on the ticket. But 2 things that I love when it comes down into events like Valentine's Day, it actually goes along with what you were just saying, was reservations. And what I like to do is actually make reservations, 5 of them at each of my favorite restaurants at different times, and then boop, 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 pass them out to your favorite people. You have a couple left. You put them online, say, hey, are you looking for a reservation? Here's some that I have available. Let me know. You're that hero for the guys that forget. You're that wonderful guy that the ladies need to have. That's one of my favorite. The second thing I think is great these days, because money is so tight for people and people are trying to invest to buy a home, is affordable ways. If you're saving for a home, what are some affordable ways to enjoy the holiday without sitting around doing nothing? Come up with some ways. Maybe it's local. Maybe it's things you can do inside your house. Maybe it's some, ways to make a meal at home, whatever it is, but get creative.
Wow. I love the idea of booking reservations in advance for your clients. Dan McKinnon, have you actually done this, or is this talking point? Let's see. Let's see. Have you actually booked some reservations?
I actually haven't, but there's a couple old people in my market that do this. It's genius.
Well,
I absolutely do not. I rarely even make reservations for my wife and I. We went to a restaurant last week and they walked in. I walked in and they said, do you have a reservation? I said, no, we're just walking in. They said, you can't come here. And we had to leave. And that was our date night. We had a babysitter. So no, I don't do this. I think it's a genius idea though. And we're talking genius ideas.
We are talking genius idea. Marie, imagine if, or Dan, or anyone, imagine I'm talking to my wife and she's like, what are your Valentine's Day plans? Or what are our Valentine's Day plans? I'm like, well, I have 5 reservations, but they're not for us. They're 5 random guy clients that I may or may
It's
not
a
have.
genius idea, okay?
It is a good idea.
It is, but I immediately go to the fact that like if they don't show up, it now affects your what's the app that you have to use? I'm banned from it because I never make my reservations.
Open table.
Yeah, open table. Yeah, I can't, and like I have to use my email. My phone number's banned. Like I can't make any reservations on it anymore. So that was my immediate thought is what happened.
Okay, was this an analysis of marketing ideas, or is this just
great idea.
we're
You're
talking
right.
great ideas here?
Great idea.
Our apologies, Dan. It's phenomenal. I like that. You sounded like that guy in Spaceballs. You know, the Jeep, the creeps, and the freaks. That guy.
Yeah,
smart guy. Yeah.
Spaceballs. All right, Marie. What about you? You are a content genius, a content queen. What are your ideas for Valentine's Day? I'm sure you got some brilliant ones.
I had a list of this that was this long, and then after both of you spoke, I think it's down to I have one idea that has not been said. So I feel like it could be fun to do best Valentines from your past clients, and then you're doing like some screenshots of texts that you've gotten from your clients or like testimonials. You're kind of showing some client love, or you can flip the script and talk about like what you love about real estate. So a little B-roll action, maybe showcasing you behind the scenes, talking about some little tidbits there.
I love
that.
social proof stuff that you
Social
show
proof.
off, like when people are like, hey, this is actually a review I got.
Yeah.
Throw the review in a little heart. How about that? Throw it in a little heart template.
If you do during the holidays, you don't seem like some type of braggadocious agent. You can do it humbly, like, oh yeah, people love me. But if I do that on a normal Tuesday, people are going to be like, Marie's full of herself. So use the holidays for some sort of tip around that.
Client love. I love it. Dan O'Neill, Danny Deals, Mr. Casanova himself. What are your Valentine's Day content plans? You coming out with another Bachelor rendition? Are you going to dress up as Cupid and shoot people with arrows? What are you going to do?
I might, and you know me, Eric. I'm Danny Love. I was actually supposed to be born on Valentine's Day, but there was a blizzard and whatever. So, Danny, it was 1994, February of 1994. There was a very bad blizzard that I hit in New York. So, long story short,
so you as the baby knew that a blizzard was going on and decided to wait a couple days.
It's my ADHD. I can see, even in my mother's womb, I was like, no, I don't want to come out today. I won't leave the hospital. So
pattern recognition.
29 years later, my nickname is still Danny Love. And with that said, I did come prepared today with some very, very good content ideas for Valentine's Day. And this may be keeps repetitive here, but I'm definitely not going to tell you to make reservations. So 10 creative, do-it-yourself Valentine's Day gift ideas, a history of Valentine's Day traditions around the world or in your hometown, romantic dinner ideas for the ideal Valentine's Day that you can maybe do yourself, as Dan had mentioned, the psychology of love. What makes us fall in love with a home? Oh, that's good. Come on now. Share romantic quotes, poems, or love stories of people buying or who have bought from you. Create short and sweet Valentine's Day themed videos or animations, as you mentioned, the heart. Share Valentine's Day recipes, cocktail ideas, or dessert tutorials. An email newsletter. We'll go over that. Different budgets and interests for different events. Share a heart-filled message to your subscribers or even your followers about the importance of love and appreciation. Love language in real estate. My love language in real estate is everything that you don't do, Eric. Create a Q&A session on Instagram or Facebook where your followers can ask, and this is funny, and I'll end it on this one, where they can ask for relationship advice or share their own love stories. Danny Love has still got it 29 years later. How you doing?
Wow. Marie, don't we have one of those in coffee contracts? My love language is referrals. How about that for a post?
A little coffee and contracts drop. If you don't have any good ideas for marketing, that could be a great opportunity for you to get some go-to marketing tips.
Absolutely. All right. How about this? Super Bowl's coming up in 3 days, February 11th. We are Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We are 3 days away from the Super Bowl. Dan, besides putting an enormous amount of money on the Chiefs, which I'm sure you and I will be doing, do you have any ideas for agents about the Super Bowl? What sort of content should they be posting?
Of course I do.
If you don't, we could kick it around. Okay, of course you do.
Of course you do. You're already insane. Sharing real-time updates during the game, including scores, highlights, memorable moments, creating polls, asking your followers to predict the game's outcome, MVP or favorite commercials, behind the scenes glimpses of Super Bowl predictions from players warming up to the halftime show to Taylor Swift's cutaways every 13 seconds using relevant hashtags in your story and your post, memes using their content, video content, creating reels off of old commercials. So I love to use old commercials for my marketing. When I was in high school, one of the only classes that I actually paid attention to was, I think it was like journalism or something. And I remember every day after the Super Bowl, we would actually sit there for 30 minutes or 45 minutes and watch like a YouTube compilation of the most watched and the best videos. And that was the only class that I remember from high school. So interactive content is my last part, and using every 2 minutes, there's something that's going on with the game, posting that on your story, making a reel, whatever it may be. This Super Bowl is, in my opinion, one of the probably best days for content. And that's basically how Eric's made his entire fortune.
Exactly.
Partner.
Yeah, just waiting for 50 Cent to be hanging upside down or Rihanna to be singing for me to post a meme. That is how I have made the fortune. Exactly.
Eric misses by 20 seconds. I'm sorry, I have to share this. Eric misses by 20 seconds and somebody else posts a meme and he has an absolute meltdown, panic attack. I don't even think he enjoys the game because he's just sitting there waiting for a memeable click or a trend jack that he can do. Sorry.
I got the Usher audios ready. And now let's kick it to Marie Lee from Tennessee for her Super Bowl ideas.
I feel like when I think of the Super Bowl, I think of wings. Like, I'm a big wings fan. So if I were to do a little post about the best wings in Nashville, or the best spots to go and watch the game. But if I were to really put my spin on it, I would do a fun little story and I would do a poll just for engagement purposes. What are you most excited to see during Super Bowl 2024 or whatever the Super Bowl number is? I don't even know. And then I would say it would be a poll option with ads, the game, the halftime show, or T Swift. See what are people tuning in for? For me, it's not the game; it's the entertainment. So it'd probably have to be the halftime show. I also really like this trend where, people are predicting how Usher is going to come on stage for the halftime show. I feel like if you did a little prediction poll of like, what song do you feel like Usher is going to start the Super Bowl with? I don't know if people are going to engage with that, but I feel like it would be a fun little twist.
You can bet on that too, by the way. So if anyone has any inside connection to Usher, you could bet on it. Is it going to be Yeah? Is it going to be Confessions? Is it going to be Burn? Give me another Usher song. Confessions Part 2.
What's that Oh My Gosh song that he's got with Justin Bieber? So like, who's he gonna bring on stage? Is it gonna be Taylor Swift? Is it gonna be Justin Bieber? I don't know.
Right. No
I like
Taylor
that.
Swift.
I like that. Keep them
in the box. But yes, that is gambling, and I love to do it. Eric, what color do you think the Gatorade's going to be?
I think it's going to be orange.
Oh.
Orange. Or actually, you know what? I think it's going to be red. Chiefs red after the Chiefs kick the 49ers ass. Dan McKinnon, you got any Super Bowl ideas?
Yes, I have a couple. We are down, like I said, in tourism land where everybody moves from. So for us here, there's so many places that people want to understand that, hey, where's the hometown bar? So I would circulate if you're somewhere that a lot of people are moving from, or a city that, doesn't have necessarily, you're not in Kansas City, you're not in San Francisco. Let people know where the Kansas City bars are. Let people know where the San Francisco bars that, all the apparel's hung up, the flags are hung up. Those are always good things to have. Come up with some fun prop bets. Prop bets are always a fun kind of conversation, whether it be like I'm in Florida, so some fun Floridian prop bets you talk about is like, how long the Florida man going to be until he gets arrested for something crazy. Come up with something funny and engageable. And with those things too, is you can always use them in your story and get that quick engagement and then lead it up to something else. One of the things that I've never done, again, just great ideas that are coming out of my brain today from other people, is board games. People are always coming up with fun board games to print out and saying, hey, print this out, see if, you can drink along, you can play along, something like that, if this happens with it, but make it to your city, make it to your area. I think that's fun. And then the other thing is just go along with the betting, doing some stories, betting on the, days on market on a home, or, price to sell. Is it going to be above or below this? Not a lot of people know about betting. So if you want to do a little bit edutainment and educate people, if you are someone that knows a little bit about betting, you can let people know about what's going on in the game, but also bring it back to, something fun about real estate.
Yeah.
That's not us, is it, Dan? We don't know anything about betting.
We didn't meet over gambling or betting on sports by any means. There's
Not
no
at all.
way, no chance that anybody would ever believe that. That's how we met, ever. So
Yeah, I need you guys to like explain like a parlay, how to set that up. You know, maybe
How
if you
to
guys
set it
have like
up.
an affiliate link for like sports bets or
Ooh.
something.
Ooh,
An
I mean,
affiliate
that's-
link. Do we have a sponsor on here?
You know
Why
what?
do we not?
Let me know in the comments if you want Dan and I to host a webinar on how
On how
to
to
place
bet.
bets and what a parlay is and what a teaser is and what
Please.
the over is and money line and all these. We could help you out with all these terms.
we've never shared. I don't think we've ever shared the story. But if you went through Eric and I's text messages from like the last 2 years, the things that we used to do to like reverse jinx or we went through lengths that you would never actually believe truly in order to win, and we never won ever.
Yeah, the reverse jinx, when we would really put effort into the reverse jinx, that would work. So the reverse jinx is when you say the opposite is going to happen, hoping that the opposite happens. So say we had the Titans against the Chiefs. We would DM each other and be like, the Chiefs are absolutely going to crush the Titans. Chiefs are going to murder the Titans. And then I would have to say it back to him. And that was us reverse jinxing in the Instagram DMs. But if we sent that over text, it would then jinx us back. So we had to not do that. Anyway.
You guys are.
This is
You
like
guys
some
know.
Ouija board type
You guys
stuff.
know that, right? You guys know that you're special.
It's even worse. That's not even like the worst of it. Eric, we used to have to throw a bottle cap, and Eric would have to hit something, and he would take a video of it. And if he hit the bottle cap, then we would take one team, and if we didn't hit the bottle cap, we picked the other. I lost a girlfriend over it because I was trying so hard to entertain Eric and also double unreverse jinx us.
And your nickname's still Danny Love?
Yeah, that was years ago. Mm-hmm.
This is what I would do. I would take this bottle cap and I would flick it at my baby Yoda, my Grogu, and that would confirm the bet. So if Dan and I would say we have the Titans plus 5.5 against the Chiefs, then we would reverse jinx it in the Instagram DMs. Then I would take a bottle cap out and flick it at baby Yoda's head and film it. And if I missed baby Yoda, that means we would have to flip the bet, then reverse jinx it again.
And then
And you think that you're one of the mentors of people in business right now.
We would also take it right here, and we would say, okay.
I know how to get people to get engagement on Instagram. That's all I got for it. Yeah.
We would also take a dive and say, okay.
All right, let's get this thing.
Yeah.
Let's get this thing back on track here. Go
The
ahead.
title of this needs to be like not Valentine's and Super Bowl tips. It's be like how to have a successful
Degenerate
bet.
gambling addiction?
Yeah, Dan's over here shaking dice. You guys,
That's
a loaded card deck.
It's out of context, okay? The dice was
savage.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's
So before we move on, I do just want to say, if you are an agent looking to stand out from the crowd, Reminder Media is a fantastic resource that you have to check out. They sponsored our Pro Bowl yesterday too. We had a ton of agents in the comments saying they love Reminder Media. You get your own branded print and digital magazines, email newsletters. Reminder delivers these resources to your contacts on autopilot, keeping you top of mind with your database. All you need to do is focus on follow-up and watch the referrals and business flow in. Again, a magazine of an agent sitting on their coffee table. That is a fantastic purchase. Check out Reminder Media. Let's do a little what's in, what's out, huh? What is working for you in real estate marketing? What is not? Marie, what's working for you right now besides everything?
Oh gosh, I wouldn't go the everything route, but I feel like this is by far the strategy everybody needs to implement. So this past week, I was running a home search, found quite a few like move-in ready, recently renovated homes, went ahead, selected that and made that as like a list, and then created a reel. It was like move-in ready homes in Nashville under 450. And I showed what the screenshots of the homes looked like. And if somebody was interested in more information, I told them to comment 450, and then I would set them up on a response notification that would have, hey, here are the homes. And then I would follow up with, are you interested in receiving a weekly list of homes under 450 in Nashville? So actually got quite a few responses on that with people who are ready to be set up on home searches, and had some conversations going of what it takes to, or what it's going to look like for them over the next few months if they want to make a move by July.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's a clip right there. Haley, mark it, clip it, post it, collab on it. That's fantastic. Marie, you also have a couple of reels right now, or maybe you have one that is going completely viral, over 1 million views, right?
Yeah. So
what is that reel of?
This was going to be my 60-second tip, but
okay, we could hold on to it.
Okay, we can, I mean, either or. I can come up with another tip, but
Okay,
60-second tip, had a reel that was picking up some traction. I think that the trending audio was definitely key. I heard it being used a couple of times, but it wasn't like inundated on my feed. So use this trending audio. It got around 40,000 views, maybe within the first 2 weeks. And then all of a sudden, like a month later, I think that audio spiked. So when that audio spiked, so did my views. It got up to 550. Then I decided, oh, let's see what we can do to try and increase our views on this. I started intentionally responding to comments, which I feel like a lot of people leave that opportunity to the side. I was getting a lot of hate, so there were some times where maybe I'd have a snarky comment, but I was usually trying to give an explanation or provide something of value. Got up to the 800,000 view mark, and then what I did was start replying to reels with reels. So I started using the comments and responding to them with reels, where I am explaining how on earth appreciation works or equity works. Like, I'm breaking down a real estate topic. And then if people are interested in what that response was to, they can click that comment and it directs them back to the original video. So that in itself ended up carrying that from 800,000 over the mill mark within a week. So that was by far the fastest strategy that we were using to get views up. So if you're okay with being vulnerable or kind of like unedited on camera, I feel like that's a really great way to go.
That's great. And I saw you on your stories talking about these strategies of how you were boosting that reel, which was kind of a cool story for the audience because they felt kind of bought into that content, saying, is this actually going to get 1 million views? So great advice by Marie to go into your comments. If you have a video that's popping off, go into your comments, respond to the comments, and respond to some comments with reels. Wow, I can't talk. Great job, Marie. Dan McKinnon, what's working for you this week?
What's working for me? I just want to, that was awesome, Marie. That was just amazing because I followed along in the stories. I just want to say though, she even carried it up to, as I even liked the questions and answers that she did afterwards, because I actually engaged in a handful of them. It was like, hey, did the audio work with it? Did it not? Because to bring up to your question, Eric, what is working? Not much, man. I've been trying a lot. I've been trying a lot of different stuff just to see what works. And what I've been finding, the only thing that works is just deep connection with people that are on there that had interest. It's going through my old DMs and just searching wonder, or I had a question. I'll just search question and see old DMs that come up and be like, hey, are you still interested? A lot has changed in our market from prices, continuing to go up where rates are really not breaking for people right now. So everyone's kind of wondering. Now, the only thing for me has always been enticing people to get interested to buy, right? And I think that the thing that is working a little bit more for me now is to go a little bit deeper in conversation and figure out what other questions are holding them back from actually, making a longer conversation with me or making a trip down here and figuring it out. So if you're struggling on social, I don't know, that Marie, that plan is amazing. So go you. But like for anyone else, if you're struggling with some engagement or something like that, try to, dig deeper in some conversations, because at the end of the day, we're just looking for those conversations. But yeah, that's pretty much what's going on with me.
Oh yeah.
Love that. Going deep in the DMs. Danny Love, what about you? What's working for you?
What's working for me is getting analytical. For the first time, just really tracking and seeing what's working, what's not working, like your demographic, times, and really diving deep into like, okay, reels are, 25% of what's generating, leads or what's generating engagement, or posts are, or carousel or Instagram lives. Like I've actually never really looked at it. I've always just kind of seen like the number, right? Oh, wow. Okay. We got 250,000 impressions. That's cool. But where's that actually coming from? And then trying to duplicate it and replicate it, and, seeing what posts are attracting non-followers or versus followers, and, trying to actually be analytical and seeing what's working and where your ROI is, right? Like I don't want to keep posting a reel every single day or every other day if it's not really working to the best of my, or performing the best. So what I've noticed now is a really good mix of and we already know this, but stories, lives, and I never really thought about times or anything, and I didn't really care. It's just like whenever the video is done, boom, posted. But it's interesting to see like I have followers in in Dubai that got to be fake, like objectively fake for sure. But then it's cool to see like, okay, how many people in Florida, what percentage are watching, what percentage of New York, and then age demographics too. So I'm seeing that I do have like 55 to 6-year-old followers, which I was actually pleasantly surprised about. So now maybe tailoring my content away from being 29 and doing funny stuff to maybe more serious. So that's what I've been doing, and that's what's working for me.
Smart. Audit your content. We always talk about that. Take a step away from your content every couple of weeks. Look at your insights. What's getting the most shares? What's getting the most views? What's getting the most retention? Very good idea. Dan, you are on fire today. Yes, Marie?
Oh, I was just going to say, Dan has really been killing the stories game lately, and I feel like people love seeing that behind the scenes. So he's been like talking about, setting these appointments and going on this rally. I feel like people really love to see that, just like I was trying to give the behind the scenes of how I was using these strategies for this reel. So I think if an agent really wants to try and drive a deeper connection, they need to show that behind the scenes, create that vulnerability of like, hey, this is me on the journey. And I feel like people get so invested in that that's a really high conversion tactic. So good job, Dan.
Thank you.
And I think that
the stories. Yeah, go ahead.
That just goes to your audience too. And I think it's great because Dan has a flexible audience, and the fact that it's like he is not only trying to sell to clientele, but he also has a large agent base. So I do think that there's a large, having that large agent base, you're speaking right to them to understand how you get to the level you're at or what your day is like. And I do think that creates a lot more, gives that immediate social proof or that kind of certification that you're allowed to do what you're doing. And I think that that's super important when it comes to that audience and understanding that.
There's so much positive energy, Dan, on your Instagram stories. What's going on behind you? Are you under attack here?
Are you guys giving me? Am I getting a compliment?
We love you.
We've been complimenting you all. We've been complimenting you the entire episode.
Appreciate you.
Your stories, it's positive energy. It's just like Marie said, it's constant movement and energy. People are seeing, oh, you're setting 50 appointments, you're attracting this many agents, you're doing these showings, you just came from a listing appointment. Like, it's chaos, but it's good chaos because it's all about your business, So you're crushing it. Good work.
Appreciate it.
Everybody give Danny Deals a like. Throw Danny Deals a like, give him a comment, give him a follow, let him know that he's absolutely crushing it.
I appreciate it. No, the main reason why I'm doing all those is to inspire and help others, but more so just to almost like keep my own sanity because people really don't understand. Like, and Eric, busts my chops all the time, but the last 2 days he's been calling me, texting me, and like I've been with Zillow, I've been doing all these things, and so it's more so to like kind of see like, hey, you know what? This is how if you want to be this, if you want this is what you have to do. And more than anything, to be quite honest with you, and I'll say it on this podcast, I have no problem doing it. In October, I almost kind of like blew up the team, and I almost just did my own thing as a solo agent. So I told myself I was going to give him 90 days, 90 days of just like, you know what, if I do it, then I'll be at least I tried and gave everything. 90 days was up, a week ago, we had the best month ever. And I wanted to show everyone what it takes because they think that we're making funny videos. They don't see what Dan's doing, right? Taking the kids to the pool every day. They don't see Marie, how hard she's working. They don't see Eric in his, 1,200 square foot apartment, but he's sitting there, clipping every meme from the Super Bowl. People don't see that, right? And I wanted to.
Those are all the most backhanded compliments.
That wasn't how I
see Dan taking his kids to the pool every day. They don't see Eric in his tiny 1,200 square foot apartment posting Super Bowl memes. I mean, my God.
I didn't mean it like that. I meant it as
the sentiment was positive. But the
way, all right. All I'm saying is people don't see it if we don't show it. And, I was showing as children, you are busy. That's what I was trying to say. Anyway,
I got you. I didn't think that was. I knew what you were saying, buddy.
It was just.
I'm exhausted. I need a day off. Bad. Really bad.
All right. Well, we'll move on to the next.
Thank you.
Next thing. Although I will just mention this. What worked for me, I did this today for the first time in 4 or 5 months, where I posted a video of me ranting in the car, straight Matt Leonetti style, and I was talking about helicopter agents because I've been going to open houses because we are trying to buy a house. As Dan knows, we've been talking about it for 6 months. Yeah, we can play the rant right now, actually.
I am absolutely shocked at the amount of helicopter real estate agents still in existence. I went to 5 open houses on Sunday. 4 of the 5 agents started yapping in my face the second I opened the door. I couldn't even slip on the booties, and it's 4 bed, 3 bath, 1,500 square feet. The seller's super meticulous. The sewer line, the HOA. And I'm like, all right, take it easy. Let me just wiggle my way around and see the rooms. When I finally get to the rooms, they're still yapping in my face. They won't leave my side. Let me collect my thoughts for a second. One of the agents had an earpiece in like he was in the Matrix, just following me around like a security guard. Do you understand the desperate vibes this gives off? All it does is it makes the buyer want to leave the showing immediately to get away from the listing agent. Agents, stop doing this immediately.
Perfect execution there. Had a nice hook. It says real estate agents need to stop doing this organic car rant video. The comments are going off right now. There's people saying I made this story up. This is not a made up story. We went to 5 open houses. 4 of the 5 listing agents, the second we walked in, were all over us. My wife and I, we couldn't get any space in these rooms. And it's such a turnoff. Like, you forget how important the vibe of the listing agent is when you go see a house. Like, when you have an agent that's sitting back and relaxed and answers the questions with authority and knows what they're talking about, it's so much more like, you're like, okay, I could see myself working with this agent, and it's not this desperate assault on the people coming into the house. So what's working on social, just like Marie said, is organic videos like that, where it's just you in your car, Matt Leonetti style or whoever, just talking about what's going on in the market. You have a caption pop up. You don't need an audio behind it necessarily. Just straight up shoot it in your car. So things blowing up.
Can we
right
be
now.
real about that though? Because like
Yes.
when I'm doing authentic videos, like it takes me a couple of takes to get to a point where I'm like, all right, this is cohesive enough. I feel like people think that rants or, you know, car videos are like something you're coming up with off the fly. It's like, no, I probably need to think through my thought, and I'm going to do a couple of takes until I get to something that I like. So just putting that out there so that way people don't feel like, oh, I can't do this. Like, you can. It's taken us a couple of different takes to get to this point.
Such a good point and so true. I was in my car for 30 minutes before this doing that. That probably took about 5 or 6 takes. And that idea actually originated as a tweet. So as I was seeing these open houses, I wrote it down in my notes section. And then this morning I posted it as a tweet just saying, helicopter agents need to stop throwing like a flurry of information out against us. Like, it ruins the vibe of the showing. And then went to a dentist appointment, classic Dan. And on the way back from the dentist appointment, there was good lighting popping in the car. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to flip the camera around right now and shoot an organic video for the first time here in 4 months. So that worked. All right. You know what else works is joining BAMX, obviously the best community in real estate. Use code PRO right now, 30% off our biggest sale ever. You have about 2 hours left. The second you watch this, use code PRO, and you will get 30% off. That is a code continuing from the Pro Bowl. Let's get into the best things we've seen this week in marketing, because we got some good things. We all submitted incredible content here. Let's lead off with Danny Deals, because he's on fire right here. Dan, what is the best thing that you have seen this week in real estate marketing?
Let's tee it up. Let's Haley, if you can
Tee it up here.
tee it up here.
How to not go broke owning your home. This is how much you should make to comfortably afford this $450,000 home in Texas. If you're a first-time homebuyer, you want to listen up. In this example, I'll be using an FHA loan. The minimum down payment required is only 3.5%, which is $13,500. With principal and interest alone, you're looking at $2,400 a month. But wait, there's more. Let's factor in your taxes, insurance, HOA, PMI, and homestead. You're looking at $3,600 as your total monthly payment. So you want to earn at least $140,000 annually to avoid becoming house poor. If you're interested in this home, more info will be left on the caption. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching.
I watched that. I watched it multiple times. And that's what led me to make it the marketing of the week, because I love the fact that, number one, beautiful house, right? So I was drawn into the house. I watched it a few times because I wanted to get that math down. So I probably gave him 15 views, as we've great callback by me previously discussed on the new version of the walkthrough. It was an educational video. So even if you're not interested in that home specifically, he seems very educated and he sounds like he knows what he's doing. So I would probably use him as a go-to resource. And the third thing is that it was very visually appealing. And for some reason, his voice was a little bit soothing. Like, it wasn't an annoying voice. I liked the little, right, those little kind of quick cuts or voiceovers. So for my little ADHD ping pong brain, I liked it. I watched it 5 times, caught my attention. Beautiful house, great listing. How you doing?
There you go. How you doing? No, that's great. I like how they broke down the amount that it would actually cost, like monthly payment wise, where it's like, oh, I could afford this home if I make this amount. So I thought that was really good.
Eric, to your video, the right that you just posted the rant, if you went to those open houses and one of those agents had that broken down for you as you walked into the front door and said, hey, here is going to be your payments with all these different options or programs, would you be more inclined to have spoken to them or allowed them to hold your pocket while you walked around the house?
100%. Yeah. As long as they weren't in my face yapping about it and, were just subtly handing me like a sheet, then absolutely. Let's get into Marie Lee from Tennessee's post because this one was incredible. Marie, what did you like, or what is this thing? What do we have here?
Well, we are on the theme of house tours, but Sam is really getting pinpointed to his ideal client or ideal buyer for this particular property tour. So Haley, you can go ahead and hit hit the play button.
Want a condo with your own terrace overlooking TD Garden? We're back again today at Strata 234, located directly between the garden and the north end. Come check out Unit 722, an 826 square foot one bed asking $779,000. Just renovated, this condo features engineered hardwood floors throughout, quartz countertops in the kitchen with stainless steel appliances and a convection oven. Right off the kitchen here, you have your own 120 square foot terrace to enjoy and get outside. The living room's positioned on a corner like this means plenty of natural sunlight during the day. And as you can see, we're literally looking out at TD Garden and North Station. So if you're someone who loves to go see the Bruins and Celtics, this could not be a better location for you. And then at the back here, you have your bathroom with a fully tiled shower, and then your bedroom at the back when it's time for you to call it a night. Downstairs, the building also has a fitness room as well as 24/7 concierge. If you want more information, send me a message.
I think that great property tour by Sam. He's been filming these on his phone, so I know that a lot of people are like, how are you filming this? He is just filming it on his phone, and he is turning up the speed to give the time-lapse walkthrough. But I think the idea of marketing specifically to Celtics or Bruins fans is genius. You're speaking directly to somebody who would find that appeal and see that value in that home. So I think people feel like they're potentially alienating people if they are speaking to one direct buyer or one direct client. But I think that is the highest awareness and conversion method that you could use, because this person wakes up and they're like, oh man, you're right. Like, there isn't a better opportunity for me to make a purchase as a Bruins or Celtic fan. So
yeah, I love that. Get specific with the buyer. That's what Jason Cassidy's doing with his ads. He's getting very specific about the sort of buyer. It'd be pretty funny if I was searching on Instagram and they're like, are you a 33-year-old buyer looking for your first house? Is your name Eric Simon? Do you live in a 1,200 square foot apartment? Did you take the Chiefs +2 for, something like just super specific? And you're like, holy crap, that's me.
You did that without
You've been looking for a sign. That's the sign.
That would be the sign. Mm-hmm. I would work with that agent. Dan McKinnon, what do you got this week?
I got my guy on the northwest out of the northern part of California, Roland. He is talking about some boring stuff, but he does some crazy cool clips. I love the visual cues, the quick cuts. And he brings to life a really, simple thing to talk about. So if you're out there, looking to make more content, this is a perfect example. And if you look at the way the camera's set up, he does, it's vlog type style shot, but it's still one camera, one tripod. So check it out.
Have you ever thought about what destroys homes the most? Here's a hint. It's not termites and it's not divorce. It's water. Water is the #1 money pit with homes. Specifically when it comes to roofs and drainage. I've seen plenty of homes that were beautifully maintained for 30+ years, but because they weren't properly routing their water away from the foundation, it led to cracked or a sinking foundation. So as we approach the rain, keep in mind to watch out for any pooling water around or under your house.
So I think one of the even cooler parts about this is that this is actually a repost, and he reposted it after he had posted it like 9 months ago, but it's because California is having a ton of rain, flooding, some hurricanes or whatever, torrential downpouring. So it is super relative to the situation. It keeps people interested. It's kind of funny. I just loved it.
Dan, in
That is
Florida's
genius.
huge insurance crisis right now as well. That is one of the main obstacles that we're facing with people
Oh
buying.
yeah, we'll have to have a lunch about that. That's fun to talk about.
I'll see you on Saturday,
A
buddy.
fun lunch. Yeah.
At the end of that,
Sounds like a very fun lunch.
We
I
have-
love the idea of reposting content that is relevant to what's going on. Anytime there's been a hurricane or a tornado or something, there's this tornado meme that I keep recycling where that guy is just mowing his lawn and there's a huge tornado in the background. Or there's the hurricane meme where there's one car going this way and all the other cars are going the other way. And I always say something like, when there's a hurricane, but a listing agent just called or a seller just called and wants you to list their house. That one always hits. But be sensitive to, of course, if there is floods or it's a really bad hurricane or something. You don't really want to poke fun of that. But good, great video there, Dan. All right, here's mine. Mine is not a video. Mine is a carousel swiper. Lindsay Joe sent me this. Friend of the show, Lindsay Joe. I just liked this because it wasn't a video. It's a carousel with a phenomenal hook. I'm going to read this to you. So it is Mackenzie Larch. The hook on the first carousel says, "What a jerk named Larry taught me about running a business." Then it swipes. And then the next slide says, "Once upon a time, I reached out to a seller that listed their home previously and it did not sell." And then it swipes to 2 weeks later, I received a novel text back. Here's a snippet. "You should add a professional portrait to your website. Most of your images look like you are hanging out at a coffee shop, nursing a hangover like Danny Deals and Eric. I know that feeling and that look myself. Next, your website may appeal to a 20-year-old looking for an apartment or to be a first-time homebuyer." Then it swipes. So this is the text the agent received. The favorite thing about that text was it says, "Find a high-producing experienced realtor that's been doing this for 20-plus years as a mentor. You need to input advice from highly successful realtors. Don't take advice from your friends that don't know real estate." So this is a text she received. And now she said, "This rocked me." His words hit their mark. It was her first solo year. She was working hard to find her place. She questioned if she should do and change everything. Ironically, I had just left a team and spent 7 years on with a very successful woman in real estate that had been in business for 30 years. I was doing exactly what I was taught. And then I had an eye-opening conversation with a good friend about it. So this is a story she's telling just on a carousel. She didn't have to get in front of the camera here. Just great swipers. She reminded me of this. The website had done exactly what it was supposed to. Larry was not her ideal client. He didn't have an ounce of respect for women. And why would she want to work with him? So the reason she went all in, creating a brand that is me to find her people. And now she's been working with her dream clients. So you can just swipe to the last one, just saying it was scary, uncomfortable for a reason, but it helped her teach about herself. So I just like this because it's a way to tell a story on an Instagram carousel without actually having to get on video. And it was just really well done. The engagement was ridiculous. You're hooked in from the initial slide. So great job by her. Shout out Lindsay Joe for sending that. How about that? Snaps around.
Yeah. I've been snapping this whole time. I don't think any of you have caught on. Okay.
Are you standing too? I didn't catch on.
My little ADHD brain needs some sort of movement. So I'm at the stand-up desk right now.
I have 90 fish on my desk.
That's what Tom Toole does during cold calls. He's always standing up. It just helps with his delivery. If you guys are enjoying this episode, by the way, please throw it a like and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment on the best things that you've seen this week in real estate marketing. We'll check it out next week. But I mean, this is a super value-packed episode here, so I hope people are enjoying this. Now, real quick, let's get into quick social media tips. Marie, you already gave yours, but do you have another? If not,
I feel like right now, last tip. Right now, I feel like communities are winning. So like I'm having a lot of value with some broadcast channels that I'm running right now, but also thinking about Facebook groups. Like I've created some Facebook groups specifically for home buyers or potential home buyers, and we're like nursing them through the process. So giving them resources, answering questions, potentially going live with some vendors to answer questions like inspectors or title company or a lender. I feel like Facebook groups are still in. That's like the only reason why I'm still on Facebook, and communities in general. So if you don't have like a broadcast channel on Instagram, maybe you could, give it a try.
Love that. Danny Deals, what about you?
That was
60 seconds.
That was mine, but I am prepared. So broadcast channels, I love that. That's what we are doing and it's working. But I will actually now pivot completely and I will go to my open house Facebook strategy. So what I encourage everybody to do is every time they do an open house, I did this in the beginning of my career, every single open house. I would go live on Facebook, and I would have the broker sheet in front of me right here, and I would put my face on it for the first 15 seconds. What's up, everybody? Dan O'Neill here, just doing an open house today. And Smithtown wanted to show you guys a quick little tour. Boom, get my face off it because I'm ugly as sin. And now I have the broker download right here. I've never seen a house in my entire life. I walk through and I show the two main focal points, right? So as I'm walking, I'm making jokes, I'm having fun. Here's the beautiful kitchen, granite countertops. So I'm literally reading the broker download. And I make it a minute and a half long, so it's not too lengthy. And it's showing social proof that every single weekend, like this kid's sick in the head. He's doing 7 open houses every weekend, which I was. But it was a way for me just to get it out there. I didn't care about the views or anything. And you could actually make it automatically delete within like 24 hours or something like that too. So that's what I preach to all my agents. It's social proof. It's a really good way of not only advertising the house, the sellers are happy, social proof for buyers, all of the above. That's what I would be doing. And that's what I will continue to do. Eric.
Great job. Great tip.
What's your tip?
Well, believe it or not, Marie Lee's tip was my tip about Facebook groups. It was.
Mine. It's mine too.
I see Dan McKinnon rolling his eyes, but I swear on my life, this is my tip.
Because it's my tip too. So
okay, perfect, good. This is all of our tips.
Tip of the week.
But I'm going to go a little deeper on it.
You go a little deeper. Go ahead, Dan.
So, I actually am a little bit the opposite. So if you haven't started a group yet and you feel a little bit behind, you can still, go ahead and start that. It does always take off if you come up with something unique. Make sure you're not unique and not just another, where I am at Sarasota. So it's like visit Sarasota, and then it's like visit Sarasota 1, visit Sarasota 2. And it's like groups like that. So make sure you're unique. But on my side, what I've been finding really, really great is going into those groups and posting anything that I've posted on my own Instagram or Facebook, but posting inside those and sharing it inside those groups if they allow it. Now, what I've done is like there's a handful of times I'll post like some drone photography or a drone video about an area, and it will take off like crazy because that is like one of the only ways for my stuff to kind of hit the public waves on Facebook. So if you have any kind of cool lifestyle or any, fun info or any of the stuff that we talked about for Super Bowl or Valentine's Day that's valuable to the public, try finding some of those local pages. If you're in Chicago, I'm sure there's a Visit Chicago, Life in Chicago, Living in Chicago. Find those page and just share that post into all the groups. Forget if they block you, let them block you, but do it with 30 different groups. And even if you get a couple posts in there, you'll be surprised at how much traction you get. There'll be more following. And so that's just a little tidbit.
Hell yeah. Great tip. Facebook groups. When there's 3 of the 4 members here of the show with all the same tip, that clearly something's going on here with Facebook groups. So do not forget about Facebook groups. I also like that strategy. Next time I'm on the walkthrough, I'm just going to take whatever the first person says is their tip and say that was also my tip.
You don't
never have to come up with tips. Exactly. That's fantastic.
It's genius.
All right. I just want to get into real quick. BAM Pro Bowl was a huge success yesterday. Thank you to all that attended. We had 6,000 people sign up. We had about half that or a little less than half that were actually tuned in concurrently for the entire time. Shout out Marie Lee at Move Me to Tennessee for an incredible presentation on profile optimization, snapping her fingers right now. It was so valuable. Really appreciate you doing that. We had Sirhan, we had Neil Holm, Jason Pantana, David Childers, Byron, Danielle Garofalo, Gary Gold talking about raising their price point. It was such a good event, and it was awesome to see how the community came out and supported that, and it was totally free. But you had to catch it live unless you're a BMX member. Of course, you could watch the replay. Use code PRO for 30% off for the next 2 hours. How about that plug right there? All right, Super Bowl predictions. Marie, who you got winning the Super Bowl?
I don't even know who's in the Super Bowl. Sorry.
What are you doing? Oh, are you doing the BMX?
Yeah,
Oh, got it. Okay.
Just got to support.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
You don't know who's in the Super Bowl? It's Kansas City versus
the Raiders.
The 49ers.
I was going to say the Titans, but I don't think they're going to be in the Super Bowl anytime soon.
Okay, so Marie will skip her. Danny Deals, who you got win the Super Bowl?
I'm not ready yet.
Okay, Dan McKinnon.
All of you, because you're going to have the time of your life that night.
Wow, so 3 people, no predictions. That is crazy. Not one person on this panel could just give a prediction.
I have the Chiefs 27-24. It's going to be a close game until the end. The Chiefs are going to control the ball all the way up till the end because Patrick Mahomes is a wizard.
Yes, I like that. I got the Chiefs 38. They're going to hang 38 on this
Woo.
awful
On
Niners
the what?
defense.
On the wait,
38 to
You're
35.
insane.
This is not the same Niners defense from 2021. Yes, Marie?
Is this a reverse prediction? You know, we were just talking about that strategy.
Could it be? No,
I
I don't know.
know.
I'll have to flick my cap off of Baby Yoda's head. And I didn't mean 2021. When the Niners played the Chiefs last with Jimmy Garoppolo. There we go. Flick it.
That's a 5. So I'm going to take the Chiefs. I believe -2, +2. We'll discuss it. It could be a reverse
+2. Yeah, we got a lot of work to do in the next 3 days here. This is not the final prediction. There's going to be a lot of movement on this line. There's going to be a lot of movement on this game. Thank you all for tuning in to the walkthrough. Make sure you throw us a like if you enjoyed this episode. Check out Dan McKinnon. Check out Marie Lee from Tennessee. And check out Danny Deals. Throw Danny Deals a like. He was on fire this episode. Thank you, everyone.